welcome back to my channel. I'm Hayley. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. Today I've got something a little bit different for you. I'm going to take you through how to make no-bake protein balls, or I guess to make them sound a little bit nicer, protein bites. Anyway, they are really simple, really quick to make. Like I said, they require no cooking, no baking, and actually if you just fancy something a little bit sweet but isn't too bad for you and you're trying to up your intake of protein, this could be perfect. All you're going to need for the protein balls are, how many ingredients we've got here? Probably about 6 main ingredients, and then you can just add extras as you like. But the main base of the protein balls is rolled oats. This enormous, that's great, this enormous tub is the protein powder. So you can use whatever flavour you want, whatever brand you want. We've got here DY Nutrition and it's chocolate. I've tried vanilla, I've tried strawberry, and actually I think because of the other ingredients, as you'll see as we go through, chocolate seems to work the best. Now, the thing that I've spilt here, luckily not too much, here we have chia seeds. We also have honey. You can use any honey you like. This is simply Sainsbury's runny honey. Runny honey. And then we have peanut butter. Again, you can use any peanut butter you like. They do suggest in a lot of recipes smooth, but I actually like crunchy, so I'm just going to pop that in. Some ground cinnamon, some vanilla essence, and then you can kind of add in whatever you want. So I am adding this time some flaked almonds, mainly because I had them left over from some baking that I'd done a couple of weeks ago. And I'm also going to add in some raisins, but you could add in toasted coconut, you could add in dried cherries. Basically, if you've got some stuff left over from baking, you've got something in your cupboard that you want to use up, bung it in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add the rolled oats. So you need 1.5 cups of this. I say this is a cup. It probably isn't, not traditionally, it's more of a mug. You can kind of just freestyle it a little bit. As long as it's roughly there, that's fine. So, I say that is 1, bung that in, and I'm going to do 1/2. So it's really not very exact. It really doesn't make a lot of difference. And then another 1/2. So that's going to form sort of the main base of the protein bites. Okay, then we're going to add a bit of this beast. So you need 2 scoops of this protein powder. So just 2 flat ones, pop those in. 1, 2. There we go. So now we're done with that. I like to tidy up as I go, but today we're not going to bother with that. So we need 1/2 teaspoon. I always forget and have to remind myself the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. Get that wrong, this could be very cinnamony. So 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I think if you don't really like cinnamon, don't bother putting it in. That's how sort of fluid this recipe is. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. There we go. So that is all in. All of sort of the dry stuff is pretty much in. So then we're going to move on to peanut butter. Now, if you get your cup that you were using before, and you basically need 1/2 cup of peanut butter. That's quite a lot. If you don't like peanut butter, this might not be the recipe for you. Just saying, there's a lot of peanut butter that goes into this. So I have 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Bung him in there. Let's see if this makes a nice. There we go. And then we're going to move on to honey. So this is to give it a little bit of sweetness. Okay, so we need 3 teaspoons of honey. Again, just use your other spoon to get that out. 1. Oh, that didn't sound good. 2. So like I said, this adds the sort of sweet element to protein bites. 3, I think that'll do. There we go. I don't actually like honey, but you can't taste it in this, probably because there's a lot of peanut butter and that sort of, that overpowers the honey. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, I've just randomly, some of it's got stuck on there. There we go, that's fine. Right, now we're going to stir it all together. So I just sort of try and break up the peanut butter and bring the oats in. I'm almost using these 2 spoons as kind of a knife and fork. It's just what I've been using already. I hate washing up. So then you can add in your extras. So I've just got some flaked almonds, which I had left over from some baking that I'd done. So I'm just going to sprinkle those in. Bear in mind that will make it probably a little bit drier, so you may need a little bit more liquid at the end. And then I'm also going to add in some raisins. These really fill you up, you know. Not raisins, I mean the protein balls. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix it all together. And then add in the liquid. Okay, so you can use any kind of liquid really. You could use water, you could use what I'm using, which is semi-skimmed milk, or you could use almond milk, whichever really. It's basically just to bind it all together. And you want to add it in 1 tablespoon at a time because you don't want it to be too wet. Again, I'm really rough with this. So that for me is 1, which actually was probably about 1.5, but anyway. And then just mix it all in. And you should start to see it sort of coming together a little bit more and less of the dry porridge oats on their own. This is 2. I was very tempted to just bung in kind of 4 lots in one go, and I did it once and it was way too wet, so then I had to add more porridge oats, then it was too dry, and you actually just end up in a vicious circle. So actually, although it takes a little bit longer, or you might think it takes a little bit longer, this is the best way to do it. Usually it takes about 4, maybe 5. And you can see that starting to come together a lot more now. I'm going to give it 1 more, and I think that might be it. Always make sure to get right to the bottom of the bowl because that's where those little porridge oats will be hanging out. Now is the disgusting bit, and the bit that I hate of this recipe. Take off any rings that you're wearing, and we're just going to mould them into probably golf-size balls. There we go. Probably about that size. And pop them then in a baking tray, because they're then going to go in the fridge. So basically just continue doing this till you've used up all of the ingredients. Ew. Ew. Basically, these just go in the fridge for 30 minutes and then they're ready to eat. So all that really does is chill them. And here are some that I made earlier. This is what they look like. They're not the nicest looking, I must admit, but I promise they taste nicer than they look. If you're one of these people that likes something sweet after you've had your meal, this is perfect. Well, we always used to have dessert when we were at home. Mum would cook a meal and then we would have pudding, and that would either be, it might even just be fruit or yogurt, or if we were really lucky, might be ice cream. And since then I've always wanted something sweet after I've eaten, so these are perfect for that. And even on the go, so they fill you up if you just want a little snack. I take them to work for my lunch. That is it. I hope you enjoyed my first ever, what is it? I hope you enjoyed my first ever recipe video. I would say cookery, but we're not cooking it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up below. Obviously, I would absolutely love it if you subscribed. It means so much to me. And I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.